Welcome everyone to our second video blog on the COVID pandemic. I'm Dan Presser, owner of Four Winds Travel in California. In this episode, we'll cover, can I get my money back? And the answer is yes, no, and maybe. Each travel supplier is different, but here's the policy they tend to lean to. Number one, it's a game of chicken. If you cancel before the airline, cruise line, or travel service cancels, your money is theirs, and it can be applied toward future use, which has a fixed end date. If the cruise line or airline or travel supplier cancels before you do, then you should be eligible for a full refund. They want to make you blink first. Now here's the big question mark. What happens if you canceled your flight in March of 2020 and the airline says you have until March of 2021 to use your credit? But back then, we didn't know much about COVID. And the airline and you believed that the pandemic would be over by 2021. But what if it isn't over? What is the airline going to do? Well, there are a few things that they could do. Number one is extend the credit to use it by a certain date. Number two, they could force you to fly when it's dangerous to do so. Or number three, they could merely abscond with your money. That's where the maybe comes in. As of October 2020, there's no real answer from all suppliers. So let me tell you, we had a client the other day who had a Delta Airlines flight credit. The airline promised him no fees and no penalties to use his credit. He had the credit because of the COVID. What they did hit him with was the airline's demand pricing. And what is demand pricing? The demand pricing is if you want the seat, you'll pay the going rate. And as there are fewer empty seats on the plane, the price goes up and up. Well, my client went ballistic because he was hit per person over $1,000 each. That's 1,000 smackaroos extra per person. That's not exactly the fair way to use your credit. That was in addition to the credit that he had. Well, to help my client, I had to find him different days and different times so that he could go on his trip. And that's the only way we could bring things back in line. So bottom line is, once the travel supplier has your money, they will do anything they can to keep it. And right now, if you're hankering for a cruise, this may be a good time to make reservations and get a few amenities, like a couple of upgrades in cabin. Make sure you and the cruise line are clear on what happens if the pandemic is still around when you're supposed to go on your cruise and you don't want to go because it's too dangerous. Get that information in writing. Thank you very much for watching this video blog once again on the pandemic. I'm Dan Presser. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.